Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Slight. Today we're going to be doing the review portion of the Vantrue Falcon 1 or the F1 dash camera for the motorcycle. So what I ended up doing on this one, I did have to move a few things around. The camera, I did keep it here. I did not put it away yet. That is not done. And then I no longer have it here because there's a little bit more play here than I thought there would be. So while you're going down the highway, it was just vibrating, right? So I did end up using the mount, and I ended up putting it right here. And then this is going forward. The problem with that is the footage, you can see this portion of it. If I had crash bars, it would bring it out further, or if I didn't have the fairing, then I could mount it a little bit closer up front. Unfortunately, I don't have that option, but I mean, it still works. It still does its thing. We're going to do some comparison of footage from the GoPro. So the GoPro versus the Vantrue. Now I'm using the GoPro Hero 8, so that will be the comparison to the front and the rear camera. Also, this one right here is the GoPro Session. So again, older camera, but that one still works. So we're going to end up showing you a little bit to do with the app. To do this, we're going to end up having to start the bike up. Of course, why would I put it in the pocket where I would need to take my glove off? Alright, so let's turn the ignition on. Okay. Lights come on. Alright, so it says start video recording. So it is actually doing the recording. I am going to mate this up right now. So we are going to go in front of it and clap. Alright. The front and rear, it makes it easy because you can actually timestamps, and it's right now I have it set for minutes. So it's, you know, if you're editing, it's a pain in the butt, but if you're in for a crash or anything like that, you can actually subtract everything based off of, well, like 1 minute sections. Okay, so now there's power to it. Again, I ended up using the Thunder box, so when the bike is on, it's constantly recording. Now, before you do anything, it's going to want you to go into your Bluetooth, right? Your cellular, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. You're going to end up going to Wi-Fi. You click onto your Vantrue, right? So there's that. So that is already on. So now we're going to go to Vantrue. Yep. It just tells you through connected device. And it's already paired. Like, that's how fast it'll pair. So that's your front and rear camera footage. So we will, and there is a little bit of a delay, right? And then we're going to do the front. Okay. You can go to each thing. You can go to your settings. So it's stop recording right now, but there is so much that you can actually deal with on this. They say every month you're supposed to format that. You can actually go in and hit the format SD card, and it does it all there. You can set up your time and stuff like that. Battery voltage protection, if it gets too low in the voltage, it'll actually go. You can go into number plate, right? And you can put all your number plate information in it. There's no point to do that. Those are all information that will be at the bottom of the actual screen. Your G sensor and stuff like that. And then resolution, Wi-Fi, language, right? So sync your phone, loop for minute. So we have it at 1 minute. You can do 3 or 5. Exposure, you can change all this. Like, these are all things that you can actually go into it, and it does cover quite a bit. Number plate, stamp, time lapse, again, parking mode. Again, there is so much that you can deal with on this, and then you can actually go into each thing. So default settings is down at the bottom if you end up doing that. Yeah, so that is the kind of a quick kind of once over of it. You can do so many things. You do statistics, that type of, again, there's so much information. It goes through quite a bit. That's a screenshot. That's to look at your photos. This is to switch your cameras around. So now I can see the front on the top left, and then switch it around. You can switch it so then it's only one camera at a time. One in the back, and I like doing the front big one and the left kind of small. But anyways, that is that. Right now I'm going to show you at nighttime riding. Riding in the sun. And I mean, they do pretty good, but again, riding in the sun, you don't really typically get good footage. Even with the GoPro, you can't get that. The exposure is just so bad. Now, I haven't actually tried the exposure setting on this. You're not going to make miracles happen, right? This is mainly for if like an event happens, you have a way to kind of show that. I've had a couple scenarios that I've captured. Guy almost hitting my buddy and the Ducati. We're coming right up on his butt. But yeah. Anyways, let's get going on here, and we're going to show you the difference between the two. So I don't know if you can see that, but the license plate is CWFN315. And we're going to come around. Now, bumps like that will put it into a different file. It'll actually save it as an event. So there's a sensor inside that will actually tell you, or it kind of rats you out, and then it saves it in a different file. It's good to have, because if there is an event, like say you got in an accident or any of that type of stuff, then it actually does give a separate file for it, and it's more important kind of thing, so it keeps it and it doesn't record over it, where in most cases you can just leave that SD card in and it just will go over and record over, right? If you wanted to keep any of that, to get to that SD card, especially on the Rebel, you have to take the seat off, right? And then there's these two little tiny screws that, I mean, that is probably the biggest thing I hate about this thing. The SD card access is ridiculous. I get why they have it there, but it's just, there's better options.
Okay, so this is actually an update for it. As I'm editing this, I did have a conversation with Vantrue. They did state that with removing the SD card and stuff, it's not actually necessary if you're trying to get just specific footage. For me in this video, it's easier to pull the SD card. You can do it via going into the captured settings, the button at the bottom. If you click on that, you'll see all of your actual data. You can click and save that, and then you can actually clip each of those videos with the little scissor kind of thing. And then you click on that, and then you can export that. You can either send that to your footage on your camera, or there's a couple different other options for you. They are working also to getting like a cloud setup, but it's not yet done. That's just something that they've told me that they're working on. So I mean, they are trying to give what the customer actually wants, so that's also positive feedback. So we'll continue back into this.
But now the rear camera isn't as good, but I mean, it's still adequate, right? Again, you're not getting footage out of this. This is literally just for like accidents and stuff like that. Just like every other dash cam, it's for potential problems and liability, right? It's protection from that. It's a very smart kit to have. It works very well. The app is very easy to work with. And the setup is actually pretty easy. From what I've gathered, from what information and what video footage I've gotten so far, would I recommend this product? I would actually. The cable management kind of sucks, but because there's just so much there, but it makes sense, right? The Rebel's a pretty small bike, so it kind of makes sense that I mean, you'd have additional wires, right? Overall, as far as the functionality of it and that, the only gripe that I would have with it is the SD card location. Only because of my bike. My bike has a problem with the seat. I have to take bolts off to get that seat, and that's the only position I could put it in. The only thing you don't get to make it work is the SD card, but that's common, right? So this kit, I mean, it's pretty solid, man. I would highly recommend this kit. If you're looking for a dash camera, again, it's not the same as a GoPro. It's not the same as Insta360, that type of stuff. It's not an action camera. I mean, like I said, it's a pretty solid kit. I'm pretty happy with it. So if you did not watch the video of the installation, that video will be tied in the back here. I will have all the information for this kit in the description if you do want to pick it up. I will see about if I can get like a code for people or anything, but I'm still in the works with talking to them. They were offering me a couple kits as well for the online. If I didn't like it, I didn't really want to push it out, so I did not accept that. If they are willing to accept that, I will add that to the Facebook groups that I'm part of. If there is anything like that, I will make an announcement on the channel as well as the Facebook groups. Anyways, if you do like this channel, if you like this content, give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe. And until next time, guys,